He does.
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dude is so bad, I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Hey, you being with me, that's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that I'm scared of it.
It would be awesome to, be being a great war, maybe with a Mexican.
Oh! Let's go! Wait, pop!
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you
Perfect.
for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Appreciate it.
All right, here we go. Estamos en vivo, ladies and gentlemen. We are Long Live Boxing en Vivo podcast with Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
Breaking it down like it is, like it should be. Bringing you the best guest in the boxing podcast.
In
Remember,
the house.
You can upload our podcast anywhere. You can upload your favorite podcast. We are
Radio?
there.
Can you do it there?
You can do
What
it
about
there.
Spotify?
Spotify.
I
That's
think
my
so,
favorite.
yeah.
Google
Spotify.
can.
Stitcher.
You're just making stuff up now.
Apple
Yeah, I think
Podcasts.
so.
Google Podcasts.
Man, we had an amazing weekend of boxing.
More boxing.
Man,
Episodio 57.
they've had so many great fights going on, so many young and up-and-coming fighters, and we have such a great privilege of having one of those young and up-and-coming fighters
our backyard.
in the house,
He's
in our backyard,
Yeah.
fighting out a FHG gym,
Funky
Town, Fort Worth, Texas. Stand up in the house, Edward Kid Vazquez.
Woo! Wepa en vivo.
Ay. What's up, brother?
What's up, my man? I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Oh no, it's an honor to have you on, sir. Definitely a privilege, and really excited about.
Oh, rocking that FHG shirt.
You already know, baby.
Oh, look at that.
Oh man, that's what's up.
Nice.
So let's just kind of get right to it, brother. So many things have gone on with boxing, dealing with these challenging times, and you've more than anybody. I'll go ahead and put it out there. Have really dealt with a lot of adversity as far as the ups and downs and challenges of boxing, and just kind of want to get that out the way. Because you're right around the corner from finally getting to get in the ring and unleash that fury, those deadly body blows and those vicious body shots that you unleash with that left hand. So what has that been like, sir? Just kind of talk about that first, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, man. So like this past year, of course, not only for boxing, just for everyone in general, it's been tough, with the whole COVID, virus going around. But man, I've had 5 fights now, or I guess 4 fights canceled, and then the 5th one was postponed, which is my next fight after this one, which would be on the Roy Jones card.
Right.
So that was scheduled for September 11th. Now or September 12th, sorry. Now it got pushed back to November 28th. So that was like the 5th fight, and that got pushed back. But 4 fights before this, man, I busted my ass, all year long for training, and then just a few days out every time, it seems like something comes up. And yeah, man, I've just it's not a waste of of hard work, but it feels like a waste, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it's hard to stay motivated. Not so hard to stay motivated because this is my lifestyle, but it's hard to keep busting ass every single day with almost no reward, you know what I mean? But thankfully, I love what I do, and this is what I do full time. So I don't complain much. I just keep trucking, man.
Well, it looks like you're going to be busy for the rest of the year. You got a fight coming up the 5th of September, and then you have that one that was pushed back to the 28th. Does that excite you? I mean, are you prepared for this?
Excites me, damn it.
I mean, of course, yeah. You just mentioned all the frustration and all the hard work Now it's when you're
I'm
seeing
ready
the
to
light at
whoop
the end of the
someone's
tunnel.
Ass, man. I'm ready to whoop someone's ass.
Poor Adam Ochoa then.
Pobrecito.
For real. That guy better, well, man, he better come ready because I have a lot of pent up energy, man, and I've been working my ass off for the whole year, and I've been sacrificing. I have a newborn baby girl.
Congratulations.
Oh,
by the way.
congratulations.
Thank you, man. And so, I've been gone from home for a long period of time. I come home maybe like right now, 9 o'clock at night, and from 9 to 12. Then I go to sleep, and that's the only time I really get to spend with her because I'm gone all day training.
Wow.
And so, it's been a sacrifice. It's really frustrating, man. So I'm ready to put these hands on somebody, man.
And you're absolutely
Put him on
right.
Manny. He's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
ready
come
to
on,
go.
Man, hey,
He'll make weight.
I'm a light.
We'll film it.
Oh, we'll film it.
I'm a light heavyweight right now, but I'm sure he can whoop me completely
think so.
in a heartbeat.
It'd be awesome.
So you mentioned about sacrifices, and we talked about this in the past, and a lot of people don't understand, what goes behind the scenes with when you're in this type of sport. What really, how did it really start for you to start in the sport of boxing?
Man, so I started boxing when I was 7 years old, man. I come from a baseball family. My family all played baseball, but we've always been boxing fans. My grandpa boxed, and so I've always been boxing fans. I remember being a kid watching, like Oscar De La Hoya versus Vargas. Those fights coming up, early 2000s, late 90s. I was born in 95, so I just remember being a little kid. And I played baseball, and I was just, wasn't for me. And I remember telling my dad when I was 7 years old, hey, man, or 6 years old, I was like, hey, when I turn 7 years old, man, please, just for my birthday, I just want to, join boxing. And, we went from there, man. I remember walking in the gym for the first time and seeing the guys bang the bag and stuff, being like, damn, this is what I want to do, And, I went all in. I fully dedicated myself. I remember being 7 years old, running to the gym every day. My dad would follow me in his car with my bag and stuff,
Right.
and I'd run to the gym every single day, man. 3 miles to the gym, 3 miles back, and
Wow.
it felt good, because I'd watch videos and of guys, like the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Trinidads, the Vargas, those kind of guys, running all the time, doing all the work. So I try to mimic that. And so it felt cool for me, you know what I mean? Being a little kid, running to the gym with my dad behind me, getting to the gym and, putting in the work. And, the rest was history from there, man. I had about 90 amateur fights. And,
Wow.
yeah, man. So, it's been almost 18 years now that I've been fighting.
So you knew exactly what you were getting into. You knew exactly the dedication and the passion you needed to have, right, to be at the position that you are right now.
And that's what I enjoy the most, man. I enjoy the grind, man. I love putting in crazy amount of work, man. That's one of my mottos, man, is that I can't be outworked. And and come September 5th, I'll show you guys, man. No one can out.
I can't wait.
Man, that's awesome. Because
fantastic.
one thing that I'll go ahead and say and put it out there. Please don't get mad at me, Edward. But watching you fight, you put out such a huge volume. Your output is
completely
insane. The amount of punches you throw, and but you're very particular about your accuracy, and you make sure that you're fighting and you're throwing punches just not to throw them, but with a purpose. But that has to take a lot of clearly conditioning. Don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So don't you run like if this is like just some sort of urban legend at Fort Worth, let me know. But do you run like 10 to 14 days 14 miles? Correction, every day?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. And right now, since we're almost close to fight day, I started to taper it down a little bit. I'll run 8 miles, 6 miles. But yeah, man, whenever we're not so close to fight day, I'm running 10 miles. I'm running 13 miles, half marathons, man. I love putting in the work, man. And I do this, literally all day. From the minute I wake up to the minute I get home, I'm working. Like right before I hopped on here, I was out working.
He was out working.
Man,
Wow,
that's really impressive.
And I love it. And especially, I wanted to ask you something. You mentioned something about running. I love running. Just something.
I love sitting and eating.
You just live sitting and eating. But one of the biggest big event that is one of my all time favorites is of course right in your backyard. It's a cow town. Have you ever ran the cow town?
No, I haven't, man.
Oh, God.
One of my goals, and I should probably do it the next time it comes up, man.
Yeah, bring
well, they
your belt.
moved it now to May. So,
okay.
yeah, usually it's 1st of March or the end of February that weekend.
Man, you should do that for your fans.
I know. I'll run behind you, man.
I'll be way behind you. But I'll be there supporting you from afar.
What is that?
With the cowbell.
it's a marathon. So you've ran it before?
Last year I've done it 6 years in a row. Last year was my very first full marathon at all, and I did it to the Cowtown, and I barely got to the finish line. You know,
But
after
you got there.
4 hours and 50 minutes later.
Wow.
There was no one out there at the finish line. No, just kidding. But no, yeah, it's a really good event. It brings a lot of families together. And, yeah.
So that's awesome. So you know, that you put that hard work and conditioning in, and you know, talk about being dedicated to your craft and really kind of committing to boxing. You also train a lot of young people in Fort Worth. Kind of talk about that and that mentorship and also the support you get from Fort Worth. Because one thing I'll say, and I'll continue to say, man, Fort Worth knows how to get behind their people. So has it been a real big boost to kind of help support you? How has that played into your career?
Yeah, man. You know, I know, you know, I train a lot of little kids, you know, from 6 years old. I train a lot of people in general, 6 years old all the way up to, you know, like about 70 years old. You know, and I, you know, I've been around the city a whole lot, and you know, for amateur fights and training people from all around the city, and you know, it feels real good, man, to know that these guys, you know, they're watching me, and they're following my lead, and it's, you know, every day I wake up and I know. That's why you probably see me posting a lot about what I'm doing, because I know these guys are watching, and at the end of the day, that's the main message I want to send. You know what I mean? Or that's my main purpose. I want to motivate these people to live not only for boxing, but just to live a healthier lifestyle, man. You know, and to strive for something, no matter what it is, and to let them know that, you know, nothing is impossible, man. Put in the work, and no matter where you come from, anything is possible, man, as long as you put in the work. So that's, you know, that's something that drives me every day, man.
Yeah, you definitely seem to be committed to, you know, not just talk about, but be about it. You know, really commit yourself to being, you know, a role model, and really kind of establish yourself as being, you know, the guy. One thing that I'll say that has been clearly commendable, I know it's not been easy going and getting those calls where things don't work out, and, you know, the fights have been unfortunately canceled or delayed or, you know, postponed, but they keep putting you on these cards for a reason, man.
Right.
So, you know, so I know I've seen you in person, and, you know, you're extremely talented, vicious in the ring, and, you know, just relentless. So what about the journey as far as getting to that point? Because I know you've been through many different gyms. You've, you know, had fights as far as like getting, you know, in California. You've been to Philly, now settling in Texas. Kind of talk about that and what things you picked up along the way.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I started boxing in South Fort Worth at a gym called Round One Boxing off of Hemphill, and then from there I went to Reyes Boxing Club, and I was there for about 14 years with Vincent Reyes, man. And then
Coach Vince.
I kind of outgrew, you know, that whole program, and that's whenever I went out to California, Philadelphia, and I was just looking for, you know, exposure. I was just looking for an opportunity, and little did I know the best opportunity for me was right in my backyard right here with FHG Boxing. And I came back from California, and I started training with Coach Ray Barrera, and it's probably the
Shout out
best
to him.
Yeah, man, it's probably the best move of my life, man. You know, he pushes me really hard, man. He polished up my style, and he presented a lot of opportunities for me, man. You know, in just the first year, I believe we had about 4 or 5 fights, like back to back to back, you know, with him. This is my second year with him, and so, you know, we just straight went in and killed it, man. And but yeah, being out in California, man, I got some great sparring, you know, Ryan Garcia, Oscar Valdez.
Whoa,
wow.
Guys from the UK.
Oh my
and
goodness.
it was, you know, I learned a lot from that, man. I learned
Hopper just woke up.
Whoa.
In the house,
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia.
yeah,
that's
so I
my
learned,
boy.
you know, I learned how the game really is, you know, out there with the elites, and I brought it back home to Texas, man, and you know, I leveled up myself, and I try to level up my friends around me, my teammates, and things like that from the things I saw, and that's kind of what gives me the drive every day, man, to know that there's some badass guys out there, you know what I'm saying, and they're working their ass off, and so you know, although we're not in California, we can bring it here, you know, and that's kind of what we try to implement at FHG, man. No matter, you don't have to be out in those big, you know, LA or Philadelphia, those big boxing towns. You can do it here in Fort Worth, man, and that's what we do at FHG. That's why you see us on TV all the time winning,
I was
man.
just about to ask that. How does it feel that?
How does it feel to have that attention?
Clay Third Degree Burns go on there
Shout out to him.
twice. I was
yeah,
on
that's
June, and then in July right after that.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
awesome.
Clay,
Man.
hey, Clay's a tough ass dude, man. He's gonna bring it every time. He's coming in shape, and he's coming to fight, man. A lot of times things don't go his way, but they keep calling him back because he comes ready, he comes prepared,
Fan
and
friendly style.
and that's credit to Coach Ray Ray, man. He'll push your ass, man. If you're not pushing it, he'll straight up tell you to get the hell out of the gym and go
get out of here. Yep.
And I want to ask you this. If I'm not mistaken, Benjamin Gourmet, he's FHG as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you at his last fight, or when he fought Jordan Jones
Mikey Garcia.
at the Mikey Garcia? Were you there? Who do you think won that fight?
I think Ben won that. I think Ben definitely brought it to him, man. Jordan Jones has a shit ton of amateur experience, and Ben only has, if I'm not mistaken, like 15 or 16 amateur fights, man. He hasn't been fighting very long. And so, everyone was talking about Noah Jones is going to, take it to him and, easily outbox him. Hell no. Ben took it to his ass, hurt him a few times, and I think Ben, should have got the win there. It was a good fight, though. Good fight all around. Good fight for, it was a good look for boxing here in the DFW, man.
No,
definitely.
It really was really good, exciting fight.
Ben's a hard worker, too, man. He has that, I think he was in the Army, so he's got that military, mindset where no backing down and no complaining, get in there and, work your ass off and
committed.
It showed that night, man. He's a warrior. He don't turn anybody down either. He's, like I said, he doesn't have very much experience and he's down to get in there with whoever. It's funny that you guys bring him up. A lot of some guys from Top Rank have been calling for Ben, and Ben will accept the fight, and then they pull out. They don't want to end up fighting Ben. It actually just happened like 2 days ago.
Oh,
they were calling for Ben, and Ben was like, "Hell yeah, I'll fight that guy." And then, "Oh no, we don't want to fight him. He's a lefty or something." These guys just want to fight bums, just like always. Those top prospects, they always want to fight bums, man. But that's not what we're about at FHG. We'll fight anybody. Fuck it.
Bring it.
That's what I'm talking
I love it, man.
Put me on the ring.
Man, that's what's up.
Give me some.
In
give me
the
a couple
house,
rounds. So it's definitely good to hear that the stable's kind of growing and you got a lot of people and motivated and you guys are pushing and standing together. And that's what makes a difference,
Yeah, that's
level.
great, man. I mean, I really wanted to, talk about that whole been around the world and I came back to Fort Worth. That's amazing. And not only that, you seem like genuinely really happy where you're at, which is great. I mean, I know, you just had a new addition. Congratulations out with your beautiful girl.
But more important, adapting the style from back there and bringing it to Fort Worth and that's what really it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you took you literally had an opportunity to grow and had that growth and brought it back to become to where you are and really put yourself in a position to really have a career to go wherever and however you want it to go, which is exciting. I mean, it's great that the things that you have in front of you, and I know it's been a challenge and had some disappointing times, but I have no doubt in my mind that the best is definitely yet to come. Definitely. I know you had your opportunity where you were with Roy Jones, and then like in October, you guys parted ways mutually, and you said that even worked out for you, correct? Now things have even flourished even more so.
Yeah, man. So that was kind of my first move here. I was signed to. So whenever I moved to FHG, I signed with the manager, Casey Gutierrez, and then. That kind of went bad. That kind of went south. He wasn't really doing much, but he was the one that presented the opportunity to get signed with Roy Jones, and then that kind of wasn't what it was like talked up to be, and so I asked for early release, and I'm thankful for the opportunities they gave me,
Right.
and I took whatever fights they, even though they weren't in my favor, even though they were my promoter, those fights weren't in my how do I say they weren't meant for me to win, you know what I'm saying? And so but I said fuck it, just like I said, FHG, we will fight anybody. So I said fuck it. We went out to the guy's backyard in San Diego. He had a better record than me, and I beat him out there. And then after that, they didn't really have much for me. I was sitting on the bench for a while, and I had a new baby girl on the way, and I needed to get the hell out of that.
Yeah.
And
work to get paid.
Yeah, that was a great move, man, by me.
Props to you, brother.
Yeah, I tried talking to them and telling them, hey, man, I gotta, I'm about to start a family. I need to, get this. I need to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? And Keith was cool about it. He was like, hey, man, I understand. We want to get you out there, but then you know, it was always just there was just always something, you know what I mean? And so
Right.
after a while of waiting around, I just asked for, you know, a release, and he was cool about it. He was like, "Yeah, man, we'll release you. We don't want to hold you back or anything." And I'm glad, you know, I'm glad there was no we didn't have to pay any money or anything like that to get out of that contract. And we came back right here to fight in Fort Worth. I believe was in last November, and got that knockout in front of my hometown crowd, which felt good. You know, we didn't fight anybody that was too tough, but it felt good to fight in front of my hometown again. And then that's when I started getting these bigger opportunities presented. I signed to KO Night Boxing with John Anderson, and
Mm.
he's got, you know, he's plugged in with a lot of promoters, you know, Top Ring, PBC, all those guys, and so he started presenting a lot of opportunities for me, man. And, you know, and you're gonna see, you know, what we got going on this year, especially after this fight. I'm not overlooking this guy, but after this fight, we got a special announcement, man. You know,
Really?
Wow.
everyone knows it's on the Roy Jones card, but there's something bigger coming, man.
Oh,
So I
we're
can't
excited
wait
about
for
it. And we're
Yeah,
gonna hear it though.
wow, man, he got me fired up.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Care to kind of
Yeah.
give us a little bit of
You can't. You sure you can't do it now?
Yeah.
Can you write it down? Can you send an email?
Spider, don't record. I mean,
No,
record,
man.
but don't record.
That's awesome, man.
We're excited for you. We really are. So,
Thank you,
and
No,
we're
that's
excited for
really
you, the
great. And I was going to touch on kind of like two things. First of all, clearly, you know, it's good when you have a mutual respect and they clearly respect what you did for them when you're with Roy Jones Jr. Promotions. Because to me, the ultimate sign, you know, I can show you better than I can tell you, is you're on the undercard for him on a huge, huge comeback card that everybody's talking about. So,
Absolutely.
you know, that's showing the ultimate respect. When you posted that, you know, on your social media, I was fired up, man. I was like, man, this is great. And, you know, it's still definitely going to happen. It got pushed back. But in the meantime, you have something, you know, big and exciting on your plate as well. So we can't wait. And, you know, I know that you are, you know, chomping at the bit to go ahead and unleash, like you said earlier. So the other thing I just kind of want to touch on, we had an amazing young lady on here, Esmeralda Ferraro. She was on here, and she wanted to know, she wanted to be, you know, ask you herself, but she wanted to know who had the amazing idea for the gender reveal of your beautiful princess that was
great
born. 'Cause-
question.
Yeah, because
I see,
you're very creative, sir. Clearly, was that a family idea, or that's just how you
no,
roll?
So me and my girl, you know, my girl's really supportive of my career, man. You know, she loves boxing too. So
She's a
it was
keeper.
kind of, you
She
know,
is a
we
keeper.
both put our minds together, and you know, and thought that was a good idea, man. That was, man, I'll never forget that moment, man. It actually was. It's funny, you know, whenever she punched the mitt and the color came out. No one knows. It went straight into her eyes, so she didn't even know.
She didn't even know what color was it.
Everybody thought she was happy.
Clapping and stuff.
No, she was crying, but she was crying because that shit got in her eyes.
Right, right.
Oh,
She
man.
was like, "Is it a boy or
They
a
thought it was
girl?
emotion.
Girl."
So
Oh,
what are we
man.
having?
That's
Oh, my
awesome.
goodness. So,
Yeah,
Kid,
that was awesome, man. You know, and, someone actually just posted that yesterday on like viral gender reveals or something like that. It was pretty cool. You know, it brought back good memories,
oh
man.
yeah, I've,
No,
I've
that's-
seen some
that's
good
awesome,
ones,
man.
but that's definitely a first time of that. So, let's talk about a little bit about your next fight. So it's been a while since you've been in the ring, right? And
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of things have changed. I think last fight was Alejandro Moreno down in Mesquite. I'm not mistaken, but I think that now with everything that's changing, and now you're going to be in this bubble. We've had some previous boxers, you know, as guests in our show, and they kind of went through the whole experience throughout this bubble, and you know how to stay safe and all that stuff. And what are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now? Is that something that it's may sidetrack you a little bit, or are you still going to maintain the same focus?
For my last fight, I was in the bubble. I was all the way out there till literally hours before the weigh-in, and then the fucking guy tested positive for COVID. So you know,
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Because you were
remember
there with
that.
Clay, right?
With
That was the
Clay,
14th.
yeah, that was
July
with
14th?
Clay.
yeah, so I was already, you know, I already know how that whole thing goes, and we were there. I think 3 days before the
3
fight.
days?
And this time we're gonna get there 1 day before the weigh-in, just so we're not having to deal with all that so much. And I'm already 5 pounds away from weight, so I plan on getting there on weight, and I don't even have to worry about doing none of this stuff in the
Okay.
bubble. Just go to my hotel room and relax till the weigh-in. Wake up the next morning and we weigh in, and that's it, man. So, you know, since my coach has already been there a few times with Clay and myself, And so, we pretty much know how that all goes, man. I'm not worried about it. There's nothing too crazy, you know what I mean?
Right.
The only precautions, that are kind of a hassle is if every time you go somewhere, you got to be escorted by security.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to go work out, you got to set up they give you times to work
Time.
out. You
Mhm.
can only be in there for so long, so you better make sure you
Grind.
can lose weight, things
Yeah.
like that. But I've already got that taken care of. I hired a nutritionist for this fight, and man, he's killing the game right now, man. You're gonna see something crazy, man. I'm coming in crazy shape right now, and I'm ripped as shit, man. Thanks to that guy, and
Yeah.
I didn't meet him.
I don't.
I'm
I
unripped
don't.
as shit. So
What do you know? What do you know about Aaron Ochoa?
I know that he's slow as shit. He got no pop.
say how you really feel, champ.
Wow, I know, right? Break it down. Don't
In the house.
One round and that's it.
Wow.
He really,
man.
he thinks he thinks he's a Compton gangster. You know what I'm saying? So he thinks he's hard. None of that.
That's hilarious.
None of that phases me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been in this game 18 years now. And like I said earlier, I've been in there with some of the best fighters in the world, and for sparring, and none of that phases me, man. And I know that none of these guys are working harder than me, and that's what gives me a whole lot of confidence. And I just know that I'm about to whoop this guy's ass, and you guys are gonna see a good performance on live TV, man.
I'm gonna DVR it.
I gotta. I just hope it's not like 10 seconds. into
No,
the first
make
round
it 10
or something.
seconds. Come on, Edward. 10
But,
seconds.
but also, I do know that he has experience. He did have he has an amateur background, and he has 12 fights. Obviously more fights than me, so he's no chump. You know what I mean? But I just don't think he's on my level, and I don't think he has what I have. And as far as boxing IQ and work ethic, you know what I'm saying? So I think there's a clear difference here, and I'll show you guys.
Man, I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see
Yeah,
it.
man.
Definitely,
We're just a week
definitely.
away. That's even
Well,
better.
I mean, I have to ask because there's a rumor that you are, you don't just live it, but you love it. You do follow boxing, not just when you're actually, training people, mentoring, and getting ready for your own fights. So I know that you admire, not say you don't idolize or anything like that. You admire Mr. Lomachenko.
Loma.
You admire his IQ and generalship in the ring. Calm down, man. Hold on.
I know,
So,
right?
I would like to know what your thoughts are for his up and coming fight. Do you have any thoughts on it? What do you think about that?
Man, I love Lomachenko, man, and I think the experience is going to take the fight here. I think he'll win, but you can't underestimate the young cat in Teofimo, man. You just never know, man. He's got that crazy knockout power. He's young, he's hungry, and you just never know, man. We'll see who's been coming up with the better game plan in training, but I think Lomachenko, at the end of the day, is gonna be able to outthink him and outwork him, and bring some things that Teofimo's never seen before, and I think it's gonna surprise him, man. But you'll never know, man. We'll see that night. That's what makes this fight. That's why everyone wants to see this fight. You just never know, man. This is a pretty.
Teo has that power.
He's
power.
got the power, but it's that show that Lomachenko brings. I mean, you can
man.
ask Luke. I mean, he was a great fight. You can also
He's
Mariaga. Look what he did to Mariaga. He just made a fool out of him.
quick.
Just quick coming back and just
Lomachenko.
mocking him. I mean, and then Regan. I mean, that was a waste of that. But you're right. Anthony Crawler, Luke Campbell as well, and then nothing to take away from Teofimo, but definitely that's going to be the fight that we've been
Did you see
dying to say.
Linares did some good damage to Lomachenko. So there's some flaws in there. You know what I mean? And those aren't things that he can't fix, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what game plan he's bringing in. We don't know what Teofimo's what he sees and what they're working on. So that's what makes this fight, highly anticipated, man. I'm excited to watch that too, man.
But it's the activity too, because it's going to be almost a whole full year
Man,
that
I
he
can't
hasn't fought. And you're a boxer yourself, and you've been inactive a little bit. Do you feel like that may come into a disadvantage that you don't have that, constant activity training camp to get serious for a major fight? Is that something that could actually hurt Lomachenko, any boxer?
He's been doing it for so long, man. I don't think that, even though he's not fighting, he's been out for a while. Guys like Lomachenko, I don't think that even though they're not fighting, I don't think that affects them very much, man. He's in the gym, he's training, he's sparring. You know, he's staying sharp. His timing is there.
So at
And
that
so, but
level,
you know,
rust is not,
yeah. So we'll see, man. You know, and a lot of people say like, being under the lights will kind of break you down.
Mhm.
But there's no crowd here, so he's gonna be comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
he'll be able to listen to his coach loud and clear. So we'll see, man. It's gonna be. Who do you guys got? Who do you guys got on that fight?
Oh, well,
I
I know
got-
who Manny got.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say that I have Teofimo because even though I have a huge high respect for Lomachenko, because I mean, if anybody can do it, he can outbox somebody for 12 rounds. Clearly, I mean, hell, 50 rounds if he had to. But I think with Teofimo, I think he has enough, ability to overcome that with his athleticism and the power. I think he'll catch him. I think if he catches him, then I think he'll be lights out. But that's the thing. That's what makes it so intriguing. I mean, the cat and mouse game, and when the thing that I do kind of go to that people don't mention it, where people go to Teofimo, how he went to, and he looked impressive in Madison Square Garden against Kami. But what about when he fought Nakatani? The thing that gives him problems, which kind of gives me pause, is Lomachenko, for all the things that he's great at, he's a master of distance.
Yep.
So he's able to kind of
Distance
measure
and feints.
the best.
And he's able to land a few combinations and pull back, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're comfortable, and he comes back with a couple of more combinations.
See, that's what
speed, exactly.
Angles,
there you go.
Nakatani was causing a lot of frustration for Teofimo because of the distance and how he was measuring, and he was just kind of keeping him at bay. So I'm thinking, like, if Nakatani was frustrating, what is Lomachenko going to do? But again, things have changed. They're both clearly motivated. And then there's a hate factor. So I mean, it's an unbelievable fight. So I'm hoping that what you're going to announce is that, I don't know, maybe you're going to be on the undercard. I don't know. It's, a brother can dream.
Hey man, that would be cool. I'd like to fight Chris Zavala from Top Rank on that card. We actually talked to my promoter about that before, but that's probably not going to happen. My next fight is on the Roy Jones card, and that's all I have scheduled for right now. But there's something big on that fight coming up, so I'll announce that later. But,
we don't.
But back to Teofimo, man. Back to Teofimo. You know what I like about Teofimo is that he demanded his respect and money, man. A lot of these guys will cower down to these promoters, these rich guys, and
say it again.
I said what I respect about Teofimo is that he demanded his respect and money from his promoter. A lot of people said he wouldn't get his money, his $2 million, and he went and got it. And I respect that, man, because a lot of times these rich promoters they'll
try to screw him over.
They'll lowball you, man, and if you take it, you take it. And these guys are still going home to sleep in their their big ass mansions and still worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But Teofimo is young. He's been doing it all his life, and he demanded his money, and hey, man, I respect that. That's badass.
So do you think that's why Lomachenko said himself,
awesome.
I value that. I'm an elite boxer too. I'm guaranteed this and that. I've earned it. And do you think that's why Lomachenko said, let me just pull up some of my cash and we'll make this fight happen? Because I know he wants a fight. He's been dying to have a major fight at the lightweight. He hasn't had any competition in a while.
I saw Teofimo. I think he tweeted that that's not true. That he said that Teofimo didn't, or that Lomachenko didn't pull any money out of his purse. That was just a rumor going around the boxing world. He was like, I think he said, he was like, I wouldn't take the fight if he had to do that. He's like, there's no need to do that. These guys are rich. They have the money. So I think that's a rumor, man. I think they went ahead and gave him the money out of their pocket.
Uncle Bob pull out the checkbook.
Wow, that's really admirable.
And
he would say that.
We spent Edward, the reason I'm over here shaking my head is we debated that.
And we're not accountants. We don't know anything
about money, but we're just debating on the whole Teofimo Vasily Lomachenko contract negotiations. And my whole point about it was, hey, get your money. Get your money, bro.
Man.
Get the financial security for your family. F what everybody else thinks. Get your money.
Yeah, and what I was telling people, what one of my friends was saying, he doesn't deserve it, or what has he done to deserve it, bro? Like I said, when has it ever been you choose the promoter over the fighter? This is a fighter's world, man. You know what I'm saying? You should always side with the fighter. So if he wants that money, if it's $500 more, $500,000 more, he's getting more money. You keep demanding that shit, you get more money. You know what I'm saying? These guys are rich, and people say, oh, he doesn't deserve it. Who has he fought? he's been doing this all his life. We've been doing this all our life. We deserve everything that we get in there and fight for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you can squeeze out a little bit more money from these rich ass guys, do it. Because you're the one that's sacrificing your life. You're the one that's putting in the work. You're the one sacrificing time away from your family. Like if you think you're worth something and you think you can get it, keep demanding it. And that's a prime example. He kept demanding it and he got what he
got. Well, it wasn't a big difference, just $800,000, and that's I mean in my pocket is huge, right? But in their pockets, in Uncle Bob pockets,
and our point
pretty
was
much nothing.
Bob
But my point,
cover that.
exactly. But my point also as well was, if I got my manager hat right now on me, and I could be stinking rich, but I made my fortune, okay, but I'm not. But anyway,
Are you?
they're suffering right now because there's no box
Filthy
office
rich.
tickets right now. I'm not. There's no fans. There's no circuit that actually would allow them to capitalize on that.
But that's also why they need big fights like this. You know what I'm saying? If you do want to bring in a little bit more money, more viewership, you need big fights like that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I wanted to do, if I had the money, I said, can I put the money? But I don't, right? Because I want to see this fight. I think boxing really needs, and all this whole politics stuff about, promoters and, even organizations now and WBC, WBO, they're coming up with their stuff, not making stuff happen, giving some diamond belts, black belt, all that kind of stuff.
JC Penny belt.
Oh my God, Jason. The Cole's Cash belt.
There's a lot of bullshit belts going on.
I know, right? So, but us, if I now put myself in as a fan, I'm not understanding what the heck is going on, and then they're expecting the fans to go out there and buy these pay-per-views that they don't make sense. Thank God for PBC that came out and did that, the card with the Charlos, and it's going to be pay-per-view, but it's going to be worth every penny of it, right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
exactly. So, it's frustrating. And I'm sure it has to be frustrating for you as a boxer, not being able to get what you deserve, but what you also know that you put up in your resume, and you're not getting the opportunities, and all of a sudden some other people are getting these opportunities that are not worth watching. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm not just not throwing Canelo in the way, but I'm not really throwing that, but
No, but I think that's great, Edward, what you said, and I love the passion. You're clearly a passionate guy. That you were talking about the mindset from the fighter perspective, because one thing I definitely admire about you clearly dedicated yourself to boxing. You don't have anything else that you do other than obviously, mentor, develop people, train people, and then train yourself and get ready for your fight. So that's awesome. And it helps me understand, because that's the thing we talk about perspective. Perspective is everything. We're looking at it from the standpoint of a fan, and all we know is something's not happening that we want because of something that we don't fully understand. So you give perspective of the other side that, look, this is livelihood. He needs to get everything he can when he can, and as much as he can whenever he can. So that's awesome, and I loved hearing that. I hate that you made Hopper seem like he was more right, but I loved hearing your perspective. It was definitely worth it.
So, he's got to be right with that.
Yeah,
he has to. If he disagrees with that, then you should stay away from boxing, because then you ain't getting paid, right? But you have to agree with it,
Edward. So definitely something that I wanted to ask before we let you go, because this has been awesome.
This has been awesome.
Is you said talking about working with elite talent when you've been all over the United States, going from the West Coast in California, going to Philadelphia. You did mention a name that whooped my brother Hopper up when you mentioned fighting the man Ryan King Garcia in sparring, not fighting, but sparring him. What's your thoughts on him? As far as I know, he's the king of social media. Do you think that that's kind of getting overlooking his actual talent? And what's your thoughts on him versus Luke Campbell?
Man, I respect him for taking that fight with Luke Campbell. Man, I think that's a better fight than Gervonta Davis and
absolutely
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Santa Cruz. But
absolutely,
I think Ryan Garcia is developing really good, man. When I was out there with him, it was fairly. It must have been 3 years ago. So how old is he now? Like 21 or something like that.
Right,
21.
It's crazy. He only had 19,000 followers whenever I was out there. Yeah, man, he blew up real quick. But he's a solid fighter, man. He's got good speed, and his power wasn't too impressive to me. But that's what I'm saying. I think he's developed really well with with being with Canelo's team.
Eddie Reynoso.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Super
they're
camp.
bringing a lot of good things to his arsenal, and developing his ring IQ a little bit better, and he's he's maturing into a man. So that power and that speed is a good combination, man. And I think Luke Campbell, he still got it, but I don't think he's fully not in his prime like he used to be. So he better come ready, because I think if he gets caught one time good by Ryan, man, he might put it to sleep.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not denied that. I mean, my prediction, and it doesn't matter. It's nothing like you, Edward. You're the man. But my prediction is that I think there will be I won't call it a flash knockdown, but I'm predicting there'll be a knockdown early, where if obviously that was
Well, if he knocks down Luke, he's going to be at him. I mean,
but if he knocks him down, but he gets back up, I think then the tide could potentially shift. So I see it being a close fight, but I see that even though there'll be a knockdown, I just see Luke Campbell probably outboxing him. But that's just my prediction.
Oh, wow. Well, he's got a better boxing skills.
I think he's
Remember, Luke Campbell was an Olympic gold, or is he Olympic gold medalist?
Olympic gold
Olympic
medalist.
gold.
The same year
For the
Joshua
UK.
won it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's been in there with a lot of guys.
Well, he's been there with
Lomachenko,
top of the division.
He's been
All of them. All of those guys has been there.
Great.
And that plays a big role, and Ryan Garcia showed a lot of flaws versus what was that guy's name? Carlos, forget his name. They call him the Solution. Remember when he fought that guy?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that guy, he applied a lot of resistance to Ryan, and it showed something different in Ryan. And I think Luke Campbell, is way better than that Carlos guy. And
Carlos Morales.
Morales, there you go.
Carlos
That's
Morales,
a good
that
one,
guy.
Edward.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, so I think if they kind of take that blueprint and apply a little bit of Luke Campbell's IQ and add some things to that, I think it's going to be a hell of a fight, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's better than the Gervonta Davis and Santa Cruz fight.
We didn't even touch on that one.
I agree with that too.
Yeah,
because,
that fight's going to be decided at the
This is a
scale.
fight that we want to see because all the hype that's been created too as well.
Yeah,
but also not only that, and that's what we talked about earlier. You got your stable, right? You got your people out there. You guys stick together. But man, he is surrounded completely by champions: Canelo, Oscar Valdez, Ryan Garcia, Lisnetti, Frank Sanchez, Andy Ruiz. Now actually is part of that stable, former heavyweight champion.
And a lot of people get blinded by the social media. They don't realize he's a hard worker, man.
He's always training. He's always in shape.
And he knows that there's a lot of eyes on him. He knows there's people ready to, kind of like Mayweather was. People always wanted to see him lose. That's kind of where he's at, and he's working his ass off.
He's creating haters that are just dying to see them lose, and that's fine because that's who he's going to attract money. And I think that, and I was never against the fact that he didn't want to fight. I mean, we made fun of him in the show, but he was
you made fun of him.
We all did. We all laughed about it
a little bit.
He wanted more than 200. He didn't want to. Yeah, he didn't want a tip for $200,000. But there's boxers out there who take $200,000. But I think the hype that he's been getting, of course, the future golden boy kind of kid, and he's got the talent to back it up, and then that does boost his confidence level to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna keep working hard. I'm gonna grind every day and do the things that I need to do to make sure I stay in that level. And we see that, and we as fans, we appreciate that because we know how hard you guys work day in, day out, in the morning, running, training, and do it over and do it over. I mean, I'll probably run 3 times a week, and I'm exhausted already, right? Can't you imagine doing it every single day? So definitely a phenomenal fight to watch. Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell, which he's a very quiet guy. He's been really talking a lot.
Very true.
Yeah, he's
doing his part to sell the fight.
He's trying to sell this fight for sure.
That's why the boxing community is excited for it. But hey.
But
so Hopper, answer that question though.
Which one?
Because you're on the fence. You still haven't decided.
I wanted to see how training camp goes. I mean, it gets closer
We're too far out.
We're too far.
It's
because Edward, both of them are my boys. Like I'm a big Ryan Garcia fan, and I've been on the Luke Campbell train for that dude is a pure technical boxer. I love his style, and it's like I was telling these guys earlier. It's like your best friend fighting your cousin. It's
first cousin.
Who do I root for?
First cousin.
I'm a huge fan of both. I'm just gonna whoever wins, hey. El que gane, gane.
Well, it's like for me, if Verdejo gets to fight, Lomachenko, then I'll be in the same.
You'll be crying in the corner.
I want Verdejo to win, but
I'm always for the younger guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm always for the young guys, man, because they deserve the best, man. They deserve to keep winning and keep climbing the ranks. And so, you know, that's kind of how I am. That's where I am with Ryan, man. You know, I hope he wins and continues to prosper, man, because he's a young guy in the sport. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that he continues to, get what he deserves, man. That's kind of like with the Teofimo situation. You know, I gave him mad props for being the young guy and demanding his respect. You know, going back to that. And so I hope the same for Ryan, man. I wish him a lot of success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm an OG in the game, but I definitely love to see the torch pass to the younger guys and seeing them help the sport grow. So speaking of the sport grow and helping the people understand what you're going to bring, because we'll definitely be rooting for you, sir. If you could go ahead and shout out where they can see you on your next fight, and also shout out social media, any of your fans. You have the last word, sir. It's been such a pleasure having you on.
Yep. You guys can watch me September 5th on ESPN Plus. I'll be on the undercard of Jamel Herring versus Aquino. I can't remember his name.
Oquendo. Jonathan Oquendo from Puerto Rico. Yeah.
So you guys can watch me on there, and
nice.
I want to give a big shout out to all my sponsors, man, for this training camp. I got sponsors: Chicano Sports, Dent Drive, VC Vision, Backroom Barbershop. Man, I can't even think. I got so many sponsors, man.
That's a good problem to have, man.
I know, right? We just want one.
Garza Group,
nice.
Backroom Barbershop. Who else? And that's just about it, man. You know, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Coach Ray. Shout out to FHG Boxing. All you Fort Worth boxing heads, man. Shout out to all you guys for all the love and support over the years. This next fight is for all you guys, and shout out to you guys. You know what I'm saying, for having me on here, man.
And we appreciate it because we started in our backyard, and we started with the local talent, and we do support them. Of course, we got our own favorites and top elite boxers, but we know where it starts, and it starts at the bottom, and we understand that, and we rather go out there, continue to big support for those of you that need it. So we really appreciate it of being here, and we look forward to see you in the next fight. Also, we look forward to see you probably in the next event here.
Yes,
yeah,
well.
Definitely.
Maybe to have you in the studio.
Or maybe
one
we
of
can
these
go
days.
over there to FHC.
Yeah,
gym.
that'd be awesome.
FHC, exactly.
See you do your thing when you're sparring.
Yep.
Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Yep,
yeah, anytime,
that's right.
man. You guys come by, man. Check it out. Our house is your house anytime.
Already.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward El Kid Vazquez aquí en EnVivo podcast.
EnVivo.
Number 57.
50.
In the house.
We are adios.
Fuera.
Gracias.
Adios.
Peace.